Hi everyone. We're waiting for more people to join. Hey everyone. We have only two people on board just now. So we'll just give it some more time. Hello. Hi Deepak. Hi Ria. We're just waiting for some more people to join. Otherwise, in another minute or so, I'll start. Okay, so I'll start now. My name is Meher Sarid. I work as a director and group president for Oxygen Services. It's a company in the fintech space, which does a lot of deployment of uh, subsidiaries from the government into rural India to the masses. It's also got a wallet, and there is a micro ATM, which is used for money transfers, for banking services, as well as for recharges and bill payments. Apart from that, I wear another hat, which is a creative hat, and for a company called Sound of Music. We do wedding designs. It's very diametrically opposite to what I do otherwise. So there is events, shows. It's completely about showbiz and so on and so forth. So that is my passion project. With Oxygen also, I look after marketing as well as HR, and then I apply a lot of creative solutions from my experiences to create employee engagement, organization culture development, as well as fanning passion in the youngsters that join the organization, so that I'm able to get a better output from them and they feel cohesively bonded to the company. So that's a bit about me. And today's topic, since it's just me looking at my face, I decided that I'm going to, I'm not able to see the viewers. I'm going to just get onto a PowerPoint and probably take you through a PowerPoint where I'm going to be talking about how in today's day and time, it's become absolutely important for people to be able to create additional income from passion projects. And why passion projects today is more important is that given this lockdown, we have all had an opportunity to be able to look at our inner selves, to be able to see what else we can do, our other possible person, our other possible self. And we've been able to see that a lot of people who had put a lot of stuff on the back burner because they were too busy in life to do things have started doing new things and have been gaining newer experiences. Um, Also on the onset where like Shivir is involved. So Shivir handles guidance to young startups and to young entrepreneurs and so on and so forth. And they would find it challenging today to get onto new businesses. And given the situation of how the lockdown is happening, how remote working is happening, we all need to change gears and adapt ourselves to it. So today's talk is all about creating additional income from passion projects. So I'll take you on into the PowerPoint right now. So we are talking about what is passion. So a lot of people talk to me about passion, and they have different definitions of passion, and they talk about a lot of effort that goes into it. But if you are doing a dream job and it's something that you're doing feel very passionately about, you do not feel you're doing a job. So actually that becomes labor of love. Labor of love, is it a fuel that's fueling your inner self to move forward? Is it a driving force that's taking you ahead on a path that you've set out for yourself? You need to identify what is your own inner passion and what it is that you feel. So when we talk about entrepreneurs, there are typically two types of entrepreneurs that I have come across in my experience. Some of them have a very specific vision, and if we look at today's situation, both these type of entrepreneurs have tremendous scope to be able to do something different. So we talk about specific vision. Some people, they come with a vision. They know that there is a universal problem. They make a solution to fix that problem, and then they feel that their vision has been met. On the other side, we have a different kind of entrepreneur who's a creative person. They want to design something new. They want something experiential. They want it. They want a solution that is more with touch and feel. So it's more experiential, more service oriented, and these are a different set of entrepreneurs. But both entrepreneurs in today's day, considering the way we are going, have tremendous opportunity to be able to do extremely well. The personality traits. Now, what would you say are the personality traits of these entrepreneurs? They are extremely restless because they have an idea, they want to go do it, they want to go and they want to go get it fast, they want it instant, they want to be gratified instantly. But today's day, they'll have to slow down a little bit because instant gratification is not going to happen. That little trait of theirs will need to change. They're impatient for action. They want to see it happen. They want to see it move. If they decide that they want to go X way in technology, they want to get it right now. So that impatience for action also is a core driving force for them. They want to do what they want to do. They decide that this is how they want to do. Their desire to do what they do best has to come out in that solution, and that's what drives them again. They are obsessive means that they don't care whether they have to work 24 hours, they have to work 8 hours, 9 hours, and get great results. That's not an personality trait of an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is at it all the time. He's thinking all the time in any situation that he is as to how he can change it, how he can make it work for him. And that kind of obsessive is a positive obsessive. He's thirsting for more information. He's always doing R&D. He's always doing research. He's trying to find out new ways of doing things. He's talking to people. He's He's meeting, interacting with a lot of people. He's bouncing off ideas. He's brainstorming, and that is another very strong personality trait. A sense of freedom. These people, they are not bounded. They don't feel like they are tied down to a desk or a chair. They don't feel that they can work only from an office. They feel that wherever they are, whether they are sitting in the hills somewhere, whether they are sitting in the lockdown in their own room, they are able to have a sense of freedom within that space. So that's also another important trait. And these guys or girls, sorry, guys, I'm just, it's general. So these people are the kinds who break the mold. They want to do it differently. They want to be heard. They want to be seen, and for that they will even swim upstream. So like a salmon fish, they are completely like a salmon fish. They will go upstream and they will go in the opposite direction, and they will go and create a wonder. So that is the typical kind of personality trait for an entrepreneur. So those of you who are looking at doing something new at this point of time, perhaps lost your job, perhaps want to give your passions new wings, make sure that you have these traits, because if you do not have these traits, then probably you will not succeed at what it is that you're trying to do. Now, in my career that I have seen over the last few decades, I've seen the dot-com boom happen, and then I've seen it go bust. I've seen the 2008 financial crisis. I've seen the bull market run. I've seen the new world that has been created around digital, everything going digital, the SaaS world, apps, and so on and so forth. So a lot of collaboration is happening today. So this has seen a shift in the type of careers that used to be there in previous years as compared to what are the careers today. Today we are more innovative. We feel great if we have an innovative solution within our company, whether it's to address a common problem related to administration, or whether it's an employee engagement that happens, or whether it's a marketing strategy that happens. The innovation around everything is very, very high. The thing that worries most of these entrepreneurs is money, and most of the time they think about money. But all good things that have been built, there are several things that have been built in today's times with very, very little money, small amounts like 10,000. I mean, there is a gentleman recently who I think I'll need to just refer to my notes because I can't remember his name, but I just read about him recently. This is a gentleman called Zubair Rahman. Yeah. So Zubair Rahman comes from a very, very small town called Tirupur, and Tirupur is known for its garments and textile and so on and so forth. It's a hub over there. So now this boy is an electrical engineer. 2014, he started working as a CCTV operator and was 21 years old, and he wanted to start his own business, and he always was looking for new opportunities. So he got a call one day from an e-commerce company to fix a CCTV somewhere in their office, and that was giving them problems. So he went there and he had a chat with one of the managers, and he was very enthralled by this whole thing of e-commerce, where you don't need a shop and you don't need anything, and you can go and sell online and so on and so forth. He had around 10,000 rupees only. So he took this money and he started a company called the Fashion Factory. The Fashion Factory he listed on Flipkart, he listed on Amazon, and these are the two platforms where he listed it. And he went to these textile companies, picked up textiles, made combinations of these textiles, and sold them. Today he does 200 to 300 orders per day, and he had a turnover last year of 6.5 crores. So just an off example, so that you understand that everything is not about money. Sometimes little money, yes, you do need money, but a little money also can go a very, very long way. Now, talking about the pandemic. So the pandemic has happened. We've had all these unexpected events. We feel shocked about it. We are jolted by it. It has got us unprepared, and it has created this whole feeling of uncertainty around us. But the good side about it is that people are rethinking that what is it that they need to do with their careers. When is the right time? People, some of us who are lucky enough not to be sick or not to be caring for others who are sick, or not in a position where we are trying to make ends meet, um, we are in a slightly better situation. But the situation does feel threatening, and they prompt us to behave conservatively. So that's quite much the opposite of what we have been doing in the past. So where been living lavish lives, we've been spending without thinking. Today we wish that we had saved for a rainy day. So now, with this pandemic in place and talking about passions again, and please remember that the passions are the backdrop to this whole discussion, to this whole talk, is that how, people need to ask themselves that how do I make a living? Do I do something that will make a difference? And to whom will that difference be made to? Will it be to my own life? How can I enhance my own life? Will it be to my community? My community is the place where I live, the people who are in my immediate vicinity, or it could be my religious community, the society, or will I contribute to the country? So these are questions, important questions that you must ask yourself at this given point of time as to what you need to do for yourself, how you need to uh, apply your passion, which I will come to later. So there was this article that I read about reinventing your career. This was a Harvard Business Review article, and I felt that the certain points in them were really, really important and worth sharing with all of you. So what they said was that develop many possible selves. So we all know who we are. We are well informed about, through experience that we've had in the past, that this is how I am, and perhaps this is how I want to be. But we've never had the opportunity to be able to give ourselves that chance to develop a second possible self. So I could be a leadership coach, and I might have also played the guitar at some point of time. Now, is it the right time for me to say that I'm going to get everyone together online and play a song for them and cheer them up in these times? So, I mean, you have to imagine a different possible self to yourself. It's the time that you have all these ideas in your head that you want to be X or you want to be Y. This is the right time, and you will get an opportunity, you will get a chance to decide as to what is your new possible self. It's more than ever a career path. It could change in times to come. You'll need to cover great ground. You'll need to embrace the process. You'll need to explore what is your possible self, and you never know. You might come across something that might make you give up your permanent career and become one of your possible selves. Now, liminality. This is a phrase where you are in your career change process and you are stuck in this position which is present, and it's about the past, and it's completely an emotional experience where you feel very, very uncertain. You feel that things are not within your control. You feel not sure. You feel conflicts in your mind. You uh, Before you even explore an idea, you decide to shut it down. So you need to embrace this liminal period. You really need to embrace this period, because this period will teach you what you need to hold on to and what you need to really let go of. This period, though it comes in everyone's career, it's not that it's just happening because there is a pandemic around. It happens even in normal course of life, when you are in a career and you're working, and you suddenly say that, you know what, this is not this is not working out for me, this is not something that I really want to do. And then you get into that mold where you feel unsure, you're not sure whether you're talented enough to be employed by somebody else, and you think your work so far has been worthless. So you need to embrace this period, and you need to make sure that in this time that you are spending with yourself, you are giving it to yourself, and that means you are attending to your own inner business. So this is something that needs to be embraced. A lot of people who have made projects in the past, they've had people have always wanted to do certain things, and then they've been so busy that they've not had the time to be able to do it, because they've been running for a 9 to 5 or 9 to 10 kind of a job. They've been engrossed and overwhelmed with the work that they are doing, which also they must be finding exciting. But they have put things on a back seat. They put it on a shelf somewhere. So these projects need to be taken out, whether you are cultivating knowledge, whether you're improving your skills, whether you are connecting with people and building resources, you or you decide to do something advisory, because all these things that you can't do with your daily job, you can give advice, you can help people out if you're qualified enough. So it's really important that during this period of time, we look at our inner selves, we pick up these shelf projects, and we make sure that we take them out and we give it a chance, because today we have the time to be able to do so. Yes, with working from home, a lot of people feel that they are giving it like a lot of time, and it's more engaging than it used to be when you were going to office, and there's no boundary. But companies are coming together to define those new boundary lines, and very soon you will have them where you will have your own me time and you have work-life balance in a different manner. So recapping what I told you so far: develop many possible selves, embrace the liminal period, get going on shelf projects. And two important points that I would want to add over here is that work on your dormant ties. When you are stuck in a situation like we are stuck today, it is not a new person who's going to come and say, listen, I've just met you just now and I'm going to come and help you. It's not going to happen. So you will need to reach out to people who you know from your past, who perhaps because of your busy time have not had the opportunity, or you lost contact with, to reconnect with them and to talk to them and to speak with them and to say that, this is where I am, or just want to rebuild yourself, get an update, and then you see how you can collaborate. You may be surprised to see how many people that you have not touched base with are doing different things, are doing newer things, and you will be able to collaborate with them. If you have fears, talk it out. You have a family, you have a friend circle, please talk about your fears and talk about the projects also that you may want to do. Talk about the ideas that you want to implement, and it will help taking you onto the next phase of your career right now. So again, this slide says it all, that we have to do something new. We should do some work with different people, with new people, and while working with new people, other than the old people that we have, you may also understand more about yourself. You may learn about your preferences, you may learn about your likes, you may learn about your dislikes, and all that will come across when you meet different people, because you are trying to do business in a different way now. So you will meet different people. They'll probably be your clients, there'll be probably people who you want to get work out of. So these are the new people that you will meet. While on the other hand, the people that I'm talking about from your past are the people that you will use to talk and to build and to network with. So this has brought us to really the birth of a micro entrepreneur. So these are people who are the newer selves of themselves. They're already new, but they have a newer personality and they're newer selves, and these are the possible selves. So There are a lot of things that I have done during this pandemic period. I mean, I have just listed out a few points. I wanted to learn drawing, which was not my forte. So I signed up for an art class. I designed masks. I love painting and drawing. I mean, painting and floral work and making Zentangles. So I designed masks for Kevida, which was the company which wanted to go out making 7-ply masks, and I did that for them. I enlisted a company on Amazon. Somebody did a small startup. They wanted help to know how they can become a seller on Amazon, so I helped them do that. I've referred a few friends. I've done some collaborative business deals with a few friends who said we need this, and I just connected them. So I did a lot of that. I helped with a music video release, which happened with Amitabh Bachchan, which is a song called Guzar Jayega. A friend was looking for celebrities to include within that film, so that was my role that I played. I also helped them design their pitch deck, their marketing deck, and so on and so forth. I helped a hotel recently design its pitch for their clients for intimate weddings. They just lost their creative agency, so I just stepped in and I helped them, and I made this pitch for them. Coming from the wedding space, I understand them very well. I made another pitch deck for a leading photographer who said that what is it that I'm going to do next, and this is what I want to do, and how should I communicate it. I designed that for them. I designed a flyer for a small person, just young startup. A small person is my little son. I mean, I work with him to get him aligned and to help him move. So that's my small person. I styled a wedding sitting in India for a friend of mine whose son got married in Singapore. So I did that as well. I mentored a few new businesses. There are people who are working in the virtual reality space, who are working in immersive technologies. So I'm mentoring these new businesses who came to me to understand what the Indian market is like. So I'm mentoring them. I've done many webinars. I've done all of that, and I also did an online event for a group with a live performance that was from a band from Pune. So they got some money. So it's great, that I've been able to apply myself, and I recommend that people also apply themselves in a similar manner. I'm sure many people are doing so, and I have certain examples as I move forward. So now coming to that additional income part and the passions and the projects that you can do as passions, and I've put together a few ideas. These may seem tiny. These may not seem long enough, and but this is pretty much what it is. Given that people today do live in communities, people are not living isolated. These are probably options that will help people see things, and perhaps you can get an idea or two from here. So the way I see it, I see online courses that are generating a lot of passive incomes. Everything is moving online. Everything is big in its way, where people are seeing the need to present themselves online, or to talk about something, or to take education online, or to do work online, or to have tools to work with while you're working online, to have assistance online, to have support online. So everything's moving online, and everything that goes online can generate passive incomes. I also see a digital hybrid evolving. So, say people who love to write, or people who have large number of followers online, they can play a versatile role for newer brands that are coming in. There are lots of coming in today to provide you your essentials, whether it's whether it's a face mask. Loads of people are doing it. Whether it's building sanitized UV led tools to sanitize your groceries, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of stuff and a lot of things that people are doing to help overcome this crisis for our personal needs, and they all do not find today a platform or a place or a way to reach out to people, or even to have a flyer designed for them that ma'am, I'm doing masks and I'm doing N95 masks, and they will just send you a WhatsApp, and that's the end of the WhatsApp. But nobody has a detail as to whether it's a two ply or whether it's a approved one, whether it's been checked by the health organization, and so on and so forth. And it's important to have all those markings present. So it's an important time for digital. It's an important time for people to be able to lend themselves. So like an affiliate marketer today, in today's day and age, can easily, a freelancer can easily 50,000 to 70,000 rupees a month. I mean, it's a great amount of money. Blogging, if you love to write, I mean, a lot of people love to write, but they probably have never applied themselves to writing. And understanding the space, and if there is a particular space that they like, say somebody likes fintech, or somebody likes say somebody likes just dressing up and fashion, and they are avid followers, and they probably can write from handloom weavers from all over the country are suffering. So maybe they can help blog for those handloom weavers and bring them some revenue, and so on and so forth. So it's a great time for digital and a digital. So I covered writing, and in writing you also have opportunities of proofreader, becoming a content writer, becoming a copywriter. So I mean, there is tremendous scope for people to do things. People need such services, and everyone today, virtual assistants are in high demand. This is not just your regular BPO person who's running, who's working at a call center, but these are virtual assistants who are working on banking apps and health apps or shopping portals, or they are responding back to queries, and they understand the space. So I mean, they are not only doing it via chat, but they are also doing it by calling up people. So if you love talking, you have great translators. You uh, translate things in writing. So content has to go vernacular. Content has to go across. So translator. I covered this already. Lending a voice for online tutorials. Another example that happened somewhere in a community in Pune was that there were these people who didn't know what to do with their evenings, and somebody became a book reader. So they came, and they would come online at 9 o'clock every night and start reading chapters from a book, so that people who really didn't like to read a book were listening to a story. So I mean, that's an option, and you can charge for it. Book My Show will help you sell a ticket for it, and you can charge for it. um, Soft skill training in today's day and age, again, the way things are evolving, whether it's how to clean uh, your your uh, your your groceries coming at home, and when I say soft skill, it's not just about how you present yourself and so on and so forth, but it's also how you address things around you. So becoming a trainer will also be an option for people. You love driving, you've not been able to get out, the lockdown has opened, essential services are around. Go do errands, do it for people who live next door to you. um, People are doing that, and they are charging 100 rupees, 150 rupees to go and deliver something for somebody. And they do 10 such drops, they earn more than 1,000 rupees a day, they're earning 30,000 rupees a month. So I mean, you have a car, or you have a bike, make use of it. Help people. I mean, help people around. Somebody wants to go to the hospital, somebody wants to go pick up something from somewhere, somebody has a package to deliver. Go and do errands. Go and get paid, and there's no shame in asking for money for it. So I mean, it will help you get out of your closed space. It will help you do something more. and you can enjoy the outsides as well. Courier companies and delivery companies are also signing up people. A lot of their staff have disappeared, and they are looking for new staff. So people who really feel that they have a crunch, and they have a servant who's got a son who's having a financial crunch, please advise them to go and join a courier company or delivery services, because these businesses are actually quite thriving. Makeup. Who doesn't love makeup? Women love makeup, and I want to talk about Minakshi Dutt, who's a friend of mine, and she runs. I mean, she used to do makeup, and she does makeup. Not used to. She does makeup, and she has her own chain of salons. So during this shutdown period, she and her daughter came together, and her being an older face and daughter being a younger face, they started talking about makeup and what's good and what's not good, and then they started eventually charging for the online sessions, and booking online sessions, and charging for it. So people can follow and do similar things, and people, everyone wants to learn how to do makeup. Women never had the time before, especially people from the corporate sector never had time before to go and get a makeup session, but today they do, and they will be happy to employ people like you. Ambika Pillai, on the other hand, had to close down her store, and what she did was she empowered all her staff all over India, wherever she had staff. She empowered them. She spoke about them on YouTube and on Facebook, and told them that doorstep beautician services are available. She said that she has coached them and trained them how to take care of social distancing, how to keep everything sanitized, and she would be more than happy if they were given a chance to come home and do something. Also, makeup artists out there who feel that they're not able to earn anything just now, try and experiment with makeup. My niece recently, did a photo shoot with one of the makeup artists and photographer in Goa, and she did this entire black and white look where the makeup artist painted over her whole face, and there were these gorgeous black and white pictures that came out of her shoot. And this again is something that can be marketed, and it can earn money. So I mean, it's just an option. Go take it. Dressing up. A lot of people are not dressing up today. We are all sitting at home, and we are in our comfort wear. At Max, we wear on a decent shirt, and we are sitting out there. But there are a lot of people um, who love dressing up and have always been told, come help me. What should I wear with this? Now, those are the kind of people who can think about probably using that as a way of getting money. So you can have online video consultations where you ask somebody to open up your wardrobe, ask them to show you what they have, ask them to wear it on, do combinations for them. That so that when things open up and when they start stepping out, they are better dressed, whether they are going for work or whether they are going for a party, they are better dressed. So that's an option. Music. So people who are musicians out there, a lot of people are composing. I just need to have a sip of water. Sorry. A lot of people are using this time to compose music. But what is really nice that has come out is these young students. I would want to talk about two kids in particular here, Varun Vashisht and Tanish Seth. They are both available on Spotify. So what these boys have done is that they've written their own lyrics. They've composed their own music. They've played their own music, and they've composed songs, and these put these songs on Spotify, and they're gaining traction. They've done a wonderful job. Others who understand music and who know how to play an instrument may not have been a tutor per se, but can always teach people online and say that I'm available and I can teach. It's like home teaching, so you can teach and you can earn. Entertaining people. So diffusing the stress is a very, very important part of today. And like I said, that I hosted a small event where there were a group of friends there were 20 people who collected, and they said, you know what, we love ghazals, and Meher, can you get us a ghazal singer for our session? We have a weekly session. We all meet up. I said, yeah, sure, why not? And I got in touch with a group in Pune who does singing. I had to work out the budgets, and they did a full performance on a Zoom call, and it was a hybrid of Zoom and Facebook Live, and it was amazing. So I mean, it diffuses stress. We've seen what happened in Italy, and we've seen those videos of people standing up on balconies and being able to play DJs playing music and people coming out on the balconies and enjoying the music. Do something like that, because it's great. It's just something great and helps diffuse the stress. Gardening. A lot of us have not been able to call in our regular malis, or we don't have the expertise to understand what plant needs how much water, and how to take care of our plants, how to do things. So if you do not have the need for money, then just help people or do some online gardening classes to teach them, do it yourself, or go out there and help your community. Say that, listen, I know how to trim hedges, and I'm going to come and trim your hedge, and I'm going to charge so much. Do you want my service? You could be living in a condominium with so many 20, 30 people who have large houses with gardens, and then the rest of them are in buildings, and they know that you've been locked down as long as they've been locked down, and they know that you're safe, so you can go from outside, do your job, and move on. So try and exploit that skill of yours. Photography is another one that I talk very, very, very passionately about, because photography is where I see great scope just now. I was very enthralled to see a photographer in London, and this photographer, what she did was that during this lockdown period, she invited people outside to their doorstep. She did something called doorstep photography, and she got families together, and she said, you know what, you guys are never together, and you'll need a special occasion to be together. So today, this whole street, I'm going to ask you all to come out in, say, red and white, and just come out to your doorstep, and we'll do a photography shoot. She did a photography shoot like that across one street. She put it on Instagram, it went viral, and today she's highly in demand. So the photographers out there, I would tell you that, wherever you're living, corporate people are always on webinars. They have only one photograph with them, or maybe two photographs with them, their recent pictures, and perhaps they want a new one. So maybe you could try approaching them for new pictures. Families who are at home, their children have come down from wherever they're studying, they are there. So maybe you do portfolio shoots. Your pet has been at home, and you've never got a pet portraiture done, so go ahead and shoot that and market that for people. And you have to understand that with the whole space going online, the whole world going online, apart from photography, videography, these are two things that are very, very important, and people are looking for people to be able to supply them with good. Of course, there's Shutterstock, and there's FreePic, and there's all that stuff. But if you have to be in the moment, and if you have to be topical, and if you have to be there, so you need pictures of now. So you do have opportunities. You just need to look out. You need to see how you want to push yourselves out there. The government has a lot of work on tabulating photography. They have needs for photography. People who have home studios will benefit a lot as well, and they can create something out of their skill set. There are companies that have moved to 3D. Companies have said that, because we can't go out there and shoot right now, we will do something in 3D. So I just saw this clip that a friend of mine put up for this Nissan car launch, which was done beautifully and done completely in 3D, and there were no people in that video. So I mean, it's just that one needs to be creative. Photography, videography, look for opportunities. Please see, it's nice to be passionate about things, and having the perfect lighting and the perfect ambience and the perfect surrounding, and everything should be perfect, is all nice to have. But in times like this, compromise a little bit on your quality quality of lighting and on your quality of the stay, people will accept it. But go out there. There is work to be done. Cooking. Um, this is another all-time favorite. Both men have also found that they love cooking. They enjoy dabbling in the kitchen. They don't just want to do bartan dhona; they also want to do cooking. So um, make your own little videos, uh, tell people about it, and share what you're cooking. But there's one example that I want to quote of these wonderful chefs who are like Chef Sunil Gadiok, Chef Vicky Ratnani, Bharat Khemani. Now these are chefs who list their shows at a cost on Book My Show. Gadiok, but the other two do, and you can learn your favorite dish from a master chef. And how's that? That's wonderful. So I mean, learn if you have to, or host your own show and charge for it. um, Feed My City saw a lot of people cooking and giving food out to those in need. And now that wave is kind of gone away because most of the migrant laborers have gone in, and now it's more rations going out. But if you love cooking, please help people around you, feed them. They could be living in your condominium, they could be older people, help them out, people who don't have the means to cook, or people. And if you're passionate about it, in addition for cooking for your own family, cook for another 3 families and see how you can sell it. I want to mention Shravani Dang, who's another friend of mine, and yeah, she loves cooking and she loves dogs as well. So her story overlaps the next slide as well. So the next topic as well. So what she did was that during this lockdown period, she went out to her gate to pick up something, and she found these really sad looking stray dogs who were not getting fed, who used to get their food from the community market shop, and so on and so forth. And she felt really really sorry for them, so she decided that she's going to cook for them and give them food. So she started cooking for them and start named the stray dogs as well. And then she realized that from 2 dogs it became 3 dogs, it became 10 dogs, and so it started growing. And the kind of work that she and her home servant had to do was really really heavy. And then also there was the cost of being able to give them great food. So Shravani, who's a great cook, and she cooks great Bengali food, and she also cooks she also does some amazing baking, decided that she's going to start making bread and selling it, making cakes and selling it, and making sandesh and selling it. And I have bought from her, and the money that she gets from this, she puts it into the dogs and taking care of the dogs. Similarly, I want to talk about Ekta. Ekta runs Bordeaux Bakery, and she was a photographer previously, and she used to shoot cover weddings, etc. But she decided to give all that up, and she decided to start her own bakery. And she does some amazing bakery. You can. She does cookies. I love her cookies. You can follow her on Instagram as well. So you love animals. There is a lot of work to be done. People do not have somebody to walk their dogs. It's a requirement. So if you love dogs, please take them out for a walk. Go to the community, pick up the dog, take him out for a walk on a leash. Help and earn. Feed dogs, as I've told you about Shravani. Then there is also Rubina and Himanshu. They run interior design firm, but this period of this lockdown, and they've always been doing it whether there's a lockdown or no lockdown. They have been feeding dogs on the street. They fill up huge containers, take it in their car, open it out, and put it in paper plates and feed it to all the dogs. And the dogs have a set routine in the morning and evening, and they're waiting for them. They know they have to come, so there are packs of dogs waiting for them. So I think that's great charity. Dog grooming. If you have skill sets, and if you think that you have groomed your own dog at home, I think you can offer grooming dogs and or grooming pets or Persian cats, however it may be, of other people also. Some people require help driving their pets to vets for their regular injections and so on and so forth. They may not have a driver. They may not be used to driving themselves, or they may not want to drive themselves. So there's an opportunity over there. Perhaps go drive your pets to the vets. Yeah. Design. I mean, I think I'm running out of time, but I can talk a lot about design. Today, as I said, that these new micro entrepreneurs need help. They need design, they need graphics. I mean, they need web pages built for them. They need all kinds of stuff for going online. They need all kinds of guidance. So those of you in the space of design might want to look out into applying your design skill. It doesn't matter whether you're a fashion designer or interior designer. You'll be able to apply to any kind of design. Painting, people who love painting. Another story over here, that there was a gentleman living in a condominium here in Gurgaon. And his neighbor said that, you know what, my whole wall has gotten peeled and it's looking so shabby. And as it is, I'm sitting in this lockdown and it's feeling depressing. So this guy said, you know what, I've lived in US all my life. I'm trained to paint my own house and do my own stuff and so on and so forth. I'm going to come home and paint your stuff for you and treat your walls and all that. He went, bought the material, treated it, and today he's painted a couple of houses like that. So I mean, that's great. So I'm not talking about painting as an art form, but painting in an art form. Please teach. If you understand painting, please teach. There are lots of people who are willing to learn. You might think that what you have, your art is not important enough because you're not a great painter, but do teach. I am currently teaching my little nieces and nephews. I take them off for 3 hours of their parents' hands, and it's a way of babysitting also and making them do something nice. So teach painting and earn. Old people. There are plenty of people who are not technology savvy. So I don't mean old in age. I mean old in technology. Old in terms of not being savvy in today's day and time. So teach these guys. Youngsters can today go out and teach them how to adopt a new technology, how to teach them how to do a Zoom call, how to access a Facebook video, how to make your own YouTube channel, and so on and so forth. So that is what is required. Doorstep assistance. So if the people are living in a community where there is a gate and then somebody has to walk really far away from the main gate to pick up stuff, then be a call away. The youngsters can be a call away, and they can run this errand and help earn a little bit of money, pocket money. Those in the space of Zen, yoga, dance, meditation, exercise, physical fitness. I mean, these are things that have gained great popularity today. So take them online. There is a huge market for everyone. There's space for everyone. So please do not feel shy that I'm not such a great dancer. But if you think you can teach a few moves, and if you feel that you have the right kind of audience, then perhaps you can reach out to them. Teaching, online tutorials, I've already covered it in different ways and forms, so I'm not going to get there. But there are certain places where you are subject matter experts, where you are leading a corporate life, and you could say be an expert on law. So maybe you would want to teach law to the rest of your immediate, say, your clients and their staff. You might want to teach them a few things. Or you might want to teach people in the company that you're working. So please do teach, because everyone loves to learn, and sharing knowledge is a great practice. Now, converting all these things into all these ideas into reality, be able to go about it the right way. So you need to apply your mind. It's not going to just happen like that. It's not going to be that if you put one post online and you say, okay, the job is done, I have to put my flyer in a WhatsApp group, but I've not got any responses, so I'm not going to do anything else about it. That's not going to work. So you need to make sure that you develop things the right way. You have, this is what I'm going to do now, this is what I'm going to do after 1 week, this is what I'm going to do after 2 weeks, this is what I'm going to do after 3 weeks, if I don't get business. And if I don't get business, is there something else that was wrong in the way I went about it? So introspect and evaluate and analyze yourself. Always be appealing, be available, and be appealing. Look good, because everyone today in all this morbidity wants to see something that looks good. So be appealing and do not feel shy. If you've got something, it doesn't matter if the whole world doesn't have to agree with your skill set, as long as you feel confident about it and you feel you can go earn something out of it. Please go ahead and do it. Diwali is coming. People who know arts and crafts and are making paper flowers with little lights inside them, go ahead, do make them and sell them. I mean, it's never feel shy of what you have and what kind of skill sets you have. The business lessons that I have learned um, have been that people prefer doing online work. Mostly everyone's using digital modes for advertising. So these digital modes, even when you do it for yourself, you have to make sure that you are available on digital platforms. We've seen, as I've discussed earlier, that remote working improves productivity in some industries and save costs. And my advice for people in companies, and this has come from Prabhakar himself, who assisted me connecting with the Shivir, was that, and he says that, be consistent about gaining expertise, find smaller markets, go with the right pricing, leverage technology, particularly SaaS. I've covered SaaS in the beginning, and hire part timers to build an agile organization from the revenue proceeds. So it's very important that you earn and then you spend. So that's it from me right now. That is my chat, and um, I haven't seen any of the comments that have happened, but I'll be very happy to take on any comments that you may have. So, a question: how much time should one allocate to developing one's passion-oriented side hustle? So, my answer is that when you're passionate, there's no time. I mean, uh, if I look at myself, I love painting. I don't care whether it's 1 o'clock in the morning or whether it's 10 o'clock in the night. The minute I have the time, I have allocated. I have said that I'm going to allocate myself to X amount of time. I give myself that much of time. But when you're developing a passion, when you're wanting to do something to earn revenue, I would suggest that you give it most of your time. If you are holding it aside from a job, so if you have a job that you're doing, then do not disturb your job hours, your 7 hours, your 8 hours of output, 9 hours of output that need to go towards the job. Please do justice over there. And the rest of the time, you have 24 hours in the day, you need minimum 5 to 6 hours of sleep. The rest of the time can be put aside for your developing of passion. So there's another question over here, that is it going to be a creator's economy in the future? Yes, of course. It is. It is all about. It is. It is going to make us think how we are going to live our lives in the future. Today, the kids are doing online education. All businesses have understood. Previously it was only leadership who used to get an opportunity to do an online course from Harvard Business School or MIT and all that stuff. Part-time, part course, online, part course on campus, and so on and so forth. But and other than educational institutions that have only online programs, but this has given us an opportunity to develop that whole online education system as a separate. So yes, it is going to be a creators economy, whether it is content creation, for education, for marketing, for expression of oneself. It's all going to happen in a very um, uh, creative manner and in a creators economy. So it's these new ideas that's going to lead and pave the way for newer things to come in the future. Is there any other question? How does one start? Um, well, starting is that aha moment that you have to have in yourself, and you have to have tremendous self belief that you can go and do it, and you have to have the guts to face those challenges. So if you are going to be able to overcome that and cross the first hurdle, which is believing in yourself, and not giving up, you can start pronto. So if you have a skill set, nobody's stopping you from going ahead. Some of you that I can see on the forum are artists, and what is stopping you from selling your art and collecting the proceeds and putting it into a charity to support the people today? I mean, nothing's stopping you, and that can be as small as 99 rupees or just the cost of the material that you have. So if there are any more questions that I can take. Yes, it is the sense of freedom that is the driving force today behind entrepreneurs. Yeah. But they're feeling a little stifled because they're not able to express their freedom today. Okay, folks, so I think that's all for me. I've crossed an hour now, and I'd like to say thank you. Thank you very much, Shivir. Thank you for having me on board. I hope I haven't bored you. I just didn't want to see my face, so I quickly understood from you when we did our trial run that I'm going to be seeing only my face. So I said I better prepare a decent PowerPoint and take it out there. So thank you very much. Um, Advice for people who are scared to take the leap: well, you have no space then. If you're scared, you have to overcome that scare. And as I'm telling you, believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, you will not be scared. So please take that leap, jump. It doesn't matter. You will fall, you will only learn. Okay. All right, thank you, and I'm signing off. Thanks and bye.